Hello everyone, welcome to round 1 with our Jund deck. Our opponent won the die roll and is on the play. I kept this hand. It doesn't do anything till turn 4 at the very least, but I think it's perfectly fine. Once I draw a land, I guess I can at least play this as a blocker, and then it'll have to bounce itself each turn, but it's not super bad. Okay, now we have red. Well, we had red anyways. We're actually still missing our black, but we'll figure it out. Alright, so our opponent's got blue-red with a belligerent sliver. I don't know if I'm worried about a belligerent sliver. Not really. It doesn't. It's just a 2/2 that it's hard to block. If he tries to suit it up with something, I'll kill it in response, but otherwise I'm not going to worry about it. So we'll take 2 here. Alright, so he's shown that he's on 3 colors as well. That I'm going to kill, because I don't like that thing when it's on my opponent's side. So let's just kill that thing off. Alright, guess we're just playing a Roaring Paradox, which will bounce itself next turn, and then I'll play Meteorite to kill that thing, which will then get me access to my black, so. So far so good. That's an Inferno Fist. Maybe I just trade here. I think I'm actually just going to trade here, because I have no real shenanigans to do with... Oh, right. Has to be blocked by at least 2. Whoops. Guess I don't get to trade here. Illusory Angel. Okay. That thing's scary, but it could be worse. I'm going to play the Mountain instead of the Swamp, because I want to play the Meteorite to kill off the Belligerent Sliver. The Illusory Angel's definitely dangerous. Let's see, if we draw an untapped land, we get to go Carrion Crow into this, which, even though you're bouncing the Carrion Crow is awful value on the Carrion Crow, getting the Roaring Paradox down for a full turn with the ability to hunt the weak the Angel is pretty good. No untapped land means that we're just going to do this the slow way, I guess. Playing like that. And passing. I should crack this to get black, because we need the swamps. So we'll grab a swamp here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. If I draw another untapped land, I can go Paradox Hunt the Weak right away to kill off the Angel. Because right now the Angel is definitely, well, hurting me a lot. Or I could Flesh to Dust the Angel. I think I'm just going to Flesh to Dust this Angel. Just get rid of it right now. That way my Crow can get through for some damage and I can hold up Lightning Strike. Alright, fair enough. Alright, well, we have temporarily stabilized. Our opponent didn't play anything last turn, which makes me wonder what he could have in hand. We'll have to see. Lots of options. Alright, I will... since it's not untapping for a while, I'd probably just play the Primadox. We're going to run out this Primadox again. Keep up Lightning Strike. I'm just going to fetch a second black, so that way I have blacks galore now again. Because I have double red, which is what I need in the reds. So next turn the Primadox will bounce the Crow, which isn't great value on the Crow, but... Or I have the Primadox actually bounce itself, so I play the Paragon, which then pumps the Crow and I get in for 3. Decisions. Probably actually do that. I'd probably just bounce the Primodox. Well, okay, if he swings, I'll just block, I guess. So you have a spell that's going to... So he's going to, like, Lightning Strike my Primodox or turn it to Frog. Response, Lightning Strike his guy. And response with a counter. Whoa, counter spell. Okay. Well, my Primodox dies. That's unfortunate, but I can hunt the weak of that thing, so the Lynx really doesn't bother me here. We'll just kill it off, and then I can play even my Paragon, so I get in for 4 damage this turn in the air. And then we're both at 1 life, or not 1 life, 1 card in hand. But I have a 4/4 flyer and an established board, and he doesn't. So, alright, so far so good. I got 6 damage on the board. Oh, that's big. I don't dare take the damage in case his last card is a Lightning Strike, so I'm going to block. I have to play around the fact that he could have a Lightning Strike in hand. Oh, well, I draw my other Paragon. That's fine. Paragon into Zothshade seems pretty good. And I get in for 4 in the air again. And now I have him pretty well held down with the ground because I can just block with my Zothshade or with my Paragon. Probably with the Zothshade because I'd want to trade with his guy versus chumping. The only reason I'd chump is if he has a way to make certain his guys gain through, which I'm hoping he doesn't. Because with my life total as it is, I'd prefer to be out of burn range. So what does our opponent have? Because if he just passes, I get in for 4 in the air, and I can force him to basically trade with my Zothshade, which works out really nice for me. Well, actually, no, I can just make my Zothshade bigger than his Thundering Giant. I apologize about the clock in the background. I'm at my parents' place, so hopefully it's not too bad. Clock's at one place, trains at the other. I just can't catch a break, can I? Whatever. Well, we're waiting for our opponent here. Oh, he has come up with a plan. Cone of Flame. For where the targets? Guess it has to be like 1, 2, 3. So then he swings for 4, puts me to 1. Okay. Well, that's awkward. So much for my advanced board state on him. Okay, I can just womp down a Siege Worm here. Thing's huge. Guess if you're going to draw something off the top of your deck, might as well be something huge. At which point now I'm going to just get in with this, because he's down to 1 card in hand and I have a bigger creature than him. Alright, as long as he can't remove my Siege Worm, I'm in reasonable shape. Oh, never mind. My reasonable shape position just evaporated because his guy gets lifelink each turn. Oh, and there's a Welkin turn. Alright, I need to draw a removal spell for this. Doesn't really count. It's a chump blocker. Alright, I gotta sit back now. I can't open myself up since I'm at 1 life, so I have to block everything and do what I can on the matter. His Swamp's probably a 1 or 2 of Swamp for this and maybe a card. Now that I see it. So he's blue-red with black for Merc Lurker's effect, which is fairly reasonable. Those effects are really good in this format, so... Alright, so we're at a stalemate. I'm not going to play the land. I'm going to pretend like it could be something else. I have 8 mana on the field. My mana's fully developed, so... Okay, I can run out of Witch's Familiar. Gives me an extra blocker. As bad as trading 2 for 1 is, I can trade both of these out for that now, and then I can kill the Merc Lurker. Okay, his Torch Fiend can kill off my Meteorite, if that matters. We have Cone of Flame in our deck, which would be a great draw at some point. Ah, Stab Wound. Stab Wound's a nice card, because I can do this. Now you have a 0-2 that's going to make you lose life each turn. Works out well for me. I'll auto-yield to Stab Wound triggers. So I put my opponent on a 3-turn clock here, which is good. Forces my opponent to have to get creative with what he's going to do. He's going to have to start sacrificing things into my line of creatures just to gain life. Or not. His choice. Okay, I'll run out of Shaman of the Spring. Draw another card. I mean, if I draw like Stoke, I just win on the spot. Drawing that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convoke out this living or play this living totem. I'm going to power this up and swing. By swinging with this, if he doesn't block with his Welkin turn, he just dies due to Stab Wound. So this forces him to block with his Welkin turn. He's then going to give it lifelink, so he's going to gain 2. He's going to go up to 7, then he's going to go back down to 5. Because even if he has Turn to Frog, my thing becomes a 3-3, so he has to do this ball. So now he'll give it lifelink. Okay. So he goes up to 7. Then he goes back down to 5, at which point I have lethal with the Stab Wound and the Crow. So far, this is looking pretty darn good for me. Unless my opponent draws something that just wipes me out here. 7 draw. Oh! Interesting. I still win. So my opponent revealed what his trump card is, but I win due to Stab Wound. And Stab Wound. Yes! 1 game 1. Alright. So he has some giant stuff. I'm going to bring Stain the Mine in. I don't think Stain the Mine's a great card, even a good card. But if he lands Stormtide Leviathan, my chances of winning become extremely slim. So I need this to basically stop that from happening. What do I take out for it? A Mystic? I think I just take out a Mystic for it. Alright, so he'll be going first again. Well, this hand does absolutely nothing. I am going to mulligan. Okay, I like this hand better. I can play the Slyblade and I can suit it up with Eternal Thirst and just start working to make certain creatures die. So, especially if I hit a red for Heat Ray, then my Slyblade just can start to become huge. Alright, Welkin Turn's annoying. Red would be nice. Nope. Alright, that's fine. We'll deal with Welkin Turn eventually. Again, Eternal Thirst plus Slyblade should be able to get me in for a lot if I can start making creatures die. So, ideally, we would draw red in the next turn or two, because I'd go Swamp, then red Slyblade with Eternal Thirst. Ooh. Okay, he's going to definitely get me into a racing position here. That is a pain in the butt. Okay, another black. I guess we can have Paragon at some point, but for right now, Slide Blade's the best we got. Now my ideal draw is either red or Evolving Wilds. Evolving Wilds will turn on the red for me at some point here, but it'll be an extra turn later. As it stands, this thing is going to be really damaging my life points a lot. Perfect. That's actually exactly perfect. So we suit this up with Eternal Thirst. Then we will cancel. Undo. Alright, so there's the chance he could have the 4-mana counterspell. If he doesn't, I'm in great shape. Because he'll burn me, and then I'll hit him for 3. Alright, so he doesn't have the counterspell, so he's just burning me. Which makes my Slide Blade just get bigger and better. And I get to start gaining some life. Which helps with the very grindy games. Because these grindy matches, you just want to be gaining life. Because if you're not getting life, you're losing life, most likely. Okay, that's a Scrapyard Mongrel. He has 1 red up. I can swing into that. Because I can just activate my Slide Blade's effect if he tries to block. Okay, he doesn't. Which is pretty much expected. Whoop. I'll leave up my red. Play Paragon here. I probably should have just played the Crow, but I think the Paragon's going to be better. Well, Crow is probably the right play. Now that I think about it, the Crow is definitely the right play, because you play the Crow, it comes in tapped. You take 3. Then the next turn, you play the Paragon, you swing for 6, 7, 7. You swing for 7. Although, I wanted to make certain that I could have the Slide Blade's effect up, so I think I still did it right, because I want to make certain the Slide Blade's effect can be up. Now I have to play around the fact he has Cone of Flame, but Cone of Flame can't target my Slide Blade because Hexproof is ridiculous like that. Something big. Oh, hi, Mr. Scuttling Doom Engine. How's your day going? Alright, we have to keep up 4. That means I'm just not swinging. Okay. Reasonable enough, I suppose. So now my Slide Blade sits on defense and makes the Scuttling Doom Engine go, oops. I guess he can deal me 6 with it, which is pretty annoying. But it's not like the end of the world if he does that. Okay, so he's developing his board state here. So the question is, does he attack just to hit me for 6? The answer is no. Okay, I can play Child of Night and the Crow. At which point, I don't play the Crow, actually, because I want to keep up my Slide Blade's ability. So I'll just play Child of Night and pass. This turn's going to start pecking me to death. I need to draw a land so I can play this and have up my ability. Although, interestingly enough, I can just trade this here if I need to. Both my black creatures have lifelink. That Scuttling Doom Engine is going to be a pain in the butt, because I have to be very careful around it. Alright, he's going all in. Means he probably has a burn spell for my Zethrid, but we'll see what happens here. Because I'm going to do this effect, then he's going to burn it out, most likely. But I can't just be taking 6 each turn, so it's just part of how the game goes, I suppose. We're going to turn this down. I'm listening to music on my own. I have... Let's see here. Alright, we'll activate my effect. which then gives him the option to use instant speed removal now or sorcery speed removal after combat. Let's see what he does. I could see him potentially going post-combat Cone of Flame, Peel from Reality. Okay. So he gets in for 4. Unfortunate, but that's life. Okay, I can play that. I can play this back out, but then I can't use its effect. Oof. Okay. Well, we're going to just have to develop our board state, and this will have to chump here, unfortunately, which I don't like chumping. I actually, now that I've become better at this, I really don't like chumping. But when you get into a situation where your opponent has a scuttling Doom Engine, you gotta do something about it. So this turn's a chump turn, next turn's a kill it unless he has instant speed removal turn. But then it does me 6, which is pretty ruthless. Not great. Not great at all. Alright. So I have the choice. I chump there, take the damage here and here, go to 5, but gain 3, go to 8, or I double block, kill this off, go to 12, take 4, go to 8, go to 2, and he's left with a flyer, and I think we're going to double block. I'm going to double block there. And then since all my ground guys are dying, I'm going to block there as well. So we're going to do this. It basically is nuking my field, but I believe this works out better for me because I get rid of the Doom Engine. I get rid of another one of his guys on the ground. I can play the Shaman next turn. This thing loses Trample. Unfortunately, this now will trade here, but I think this is for the better in the long run. So now I'm at 4. I can play the Shaman, which will draw me a card. He's got 1 card in hand. We'll see what it is. Cone of Flame. Oh boy, he has a Siege Dragon too? Why do my opponents get relevant rares and I don't? I could have done that, but it doesn't really matter at this point. With this Siege Dragon, when it attacks if I have no walls, which I don't, he just kills this. So I'm just dead. Okay. So there are 3 relevant rares in this deck. Bullshit. Alright, what can we do? What can we do? What can I do? Wow. Alright, here's a thought. I swap out my green for another color. My green's only so-so. So if I swap out all the green for, say, either white or blue, I get one of my mass removal spells. I think I'm going to bring in the white. Sure, this costs 7, but he has a 6-drop, a 7-drop, and an 8-drop that are huge, so we're going to do it this way. Because this gets me Pillar of Light, and it also gets me some creatures. I can then play Caves of Koios. I can take out these forests. So let me just take out all the lands, so that way I can just quickly get a Moto version of what lands I should play. 6, 4, 3. Well, I'm going to put that up to 4, put that down to 3. So 6, 4. Alright, that's fine. We'll look at that. So we're doing a quick audible there, just for this match. And I'm keeping this hand, because this is an aggressive enough hand that I actually can capitalize on my audible. Because I just run out Swift Claw, start beating him down. I have a Stab Wound to get rid of something. And then I can Stain the Mind at some point, get rid of probably his... I'm trying to think which thing I'm most afraid of. I just take a guess at which one I'm most afraid of at that point. So next turn it's probably plain Stab Wound on whatever he plays, or it's Leeching Sliver. So if he plays like a Welcome turn, I might just stab it and kill it and get in for... Okay, yeah, I'm going to just capitalize on my little bit of momentum, kill this off, and get in for 3. I want to have more momentum than less momentum, so... Next turn I get to play Leeching Sliver and Wall, and then I can Stain the Mind the turn after to make certain that I can prevent whatever he could have. Or I can do that. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're doing this and this. This way I can start making this race harder for him. He can't block, so I don't know what he's thinking of doing. We'll play this Wall of Essence. So the entire goal is just to smash right through him if possible. See what he has here. Worst case he goes Mountain, Inferno Fist, kill, swing, deal me 4, kill off my guy. Hopefully he doesn't do that. Hopefully I can actually capitalize on what little momentum I have here. Okay, he plays a Swamp, which doesn't worry me as much because I think his Swamp's just for his Lurker's ability. So I'm playing Mardu now, I suppose, is what it's called. Yep, okay, there's the Inferno Fist. So ideally we find a way to remove that Welkin turn before the next turn. So Lightning Strike, Heat Ray, any number of my removal, and I stand a reasonable chance of still kind of getting there. He's definitely considering. Maybe he has a Void Snare? Okay, no. Removal. Not quite, but it's fine. I mean, if he wants to use it next turn, that's fine by me. My guy's gotten in for 9 damage. That's pretty solid for an Oresco Swiftclaw. I'm going to play Leeching Sliver, and then I got the Raise the Alarm next turn. Well, on his turn. So I just got to keep capitalizing on what momentum I have and try to outrace him. Because I see him dealing me 4, putting me to 18, then blasting this guy, so that way it just... I lose my lifelink, but then I'm still swinging for 4 next turn. Yep, alright. So he's blasting that, which is acceptable and fine, yeah. And he has another Welcome turn. Okay, so he's got 4 power in the air, I've got 4 power on the ground, basically. And then I'm going to play this Sly Blade. I'm trying to think what I should Stain the Mind for. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 power on the field. If I have any way to deal him even 1 damage, I can just kill him next turn. Could draw like Lightning Strike. That'd be pretty cool. Just finish him off. Alright, so I'm going to 14 here. What have you got? You've got a belligerent sliver. It's unfortunate, eats one of my guys, but I gotta keep pressing forward, otherwise I'm just gonna lose. So let's press forward. So he'll eat one, go to 2. Now I'll play this Witch's Familiar. Continue capitalizing on my momentum. Alright, so my entire job is just to get in for 2 this next turn. Which, unless he plays 2 blockers, I should have the ability to get in for 2. Or if he plays removal blocker, if he can remove this, but then he has to block here, trade with this. So, this is going to be interesting. We're in a full-on race here, and I'm winning it right now. Trying to think what he could have. He could have like Turn to Frog, but that really doesn't even stop anything. He could have Lightning Strike, Scrapyard Mongrel, so I win. Power through for 2. Yes! Won the match. Whoa, where'd everything go? He just, like, vanished. Still, won the match! Yeah. Alright. Well, I'll see you all in round 2 then, I suppose. That was lucky of me.